Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening connection. And as we all remember and following, if you're following the wisdom, you know we're always connecting to what's available spiritually. So obviously entering tonight, that's why I'm recording the class a few minutes earlier, because we have the connection tonight to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, which is the channel, is a soul that came to the world to bring down what we call the wisdom of the Zohar. The Zohar is all the collections of the books, right, that are almost like so concealed, right, that people, even look at it is like in a way, in a scary way, because it's so concealed and it's very hard to understand it. But we know that energy of the Zohar is a time capsule, right? That was revealed 2,000 years ago, right? Physically to this world, and then disappear, and slowly in the last few years and more so with the work of what the Kabbalah Center is doing, is spreading this wisdom to every individual in this world who seeks, who interested, who desire this wisdom. So obviously all the wisdom come from there. The main source of the wisdom of Kabbalah is in the Zohar. And tonight, the event, that's what we're celebrating. All Kabbalists who ever study Kabbalah celebrate tonight as a connection, deeper connection to the wisdom, deeper connection to the tools, and obviously a great benefit for our soul process in this world. That is the huge cosmic opportunity opening tonight. Therefore, I would love each one of us to at least have the connection to this week's energy. As we learned earlier in the last couple of weeks, we're reading two portions together. And obviously, each one of them is because we are not in a leap year. When it's a leap year, you read it separately. But in this year, we're reading it connected. Therefore, as I said many times, we have a double down on the energy, right? There's a greater connection that's available for us this week, not like any other time in a regular time. This week we have two portions, which indicate, remember, the DNA of the week, called Behar, in the mountain, Bechukotai, and my laws, or the laws, the laws or commandment, or what do we want to receive this week? Again, as I said before, tonight is a great opportunity for those of us who study Kabbalah to study more. Even later at night, there's a greater light revealed to this world. When we're looking at this portion, there's a codes, right? It's all code. And if you understand it's a code, you never look at that anymore in a simple way of like just read it literally. Yeah, you need to be simple in your understanding, in your connection, but you don't want to take things in way of like, that's what's written, that's what it is. There is a certain layers that are hidden within that. If a person thinks that it is what it is, so obviously they're not going to search for something else. Not different meaning, not different connection, and not deeper awakening for that. Every word in the Torah, in Kabbalah, have a complete ocean underneath. Huge secrets. So you take the word Behar, in the mountain. That represents what we call Mount Sinai, right? God spoke to Moses, and Behar Sinai, in the Mount Sinai. Now everybody remember that story, and everybody relates to that story, that on Mount Sinai, the revelation of the Torah, the revelation of all the 10 commandments, they call it. Obviously, from a Kabbalistic point of view, it's really a connection deeper to our mechanism. Behar, the word Behar is in the mountain. We always looking also at the numerical value of that. The numerical value for the word Behar is 207, right? That represent the word or. Or, it means light, right? So the mountain now is no longer the mountain, it's the actual connection to the light. So why Mount Sinai, indicating that that is a spot where all of us together back then were connected to the light, right? Therefore, every year in this time, we have a huge connection to the light, right? Just an example, just something that you can see on the surface, right? Sinai, Mount Sinai, right, is the same numeric value of the word sulam, which is ladder, climbing ladder, right? Now you see, you combine these two words, right? I'm just sharing with you how you study Kabbalah, and over the time you're going to learn what does it mean by itself. That's the key. It's not, I don't want you to be dependent just on me or somebody who tells you, right? You make a little bit more understanding of how even to study. So that's part of it, because now we learn ladder and light. What is the connection today, this week? It's a ladder. This week is a ladder to climb up to the highest level of light that I want to reveal in my life. And specifically tonight, we have the connection to what we call Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the time of the Omer, which I said before, it's between Passover and Shavuot, which is, we're going to speak about it. Now we passed 33 days, and we hit the spot called Lag BaOmer. Now, that connection can also help us building a ladder. Many of us don't want a ladder. We want like a complete shoot up into the light. I want the light right away. I want a connection right away. Most of us that wants an instant connection, it's the same way you are instantly disconnect, the same way. But if you build a ladder and you understand that you're growing, again, you can grow every day on the ladder. It doesn't have to be every year, right? But there's a ladder, there's a process. Because also that ladder needs to represent by a ladder that come down, that I can go down to this world and bring light to this world. So it's not just going up. It's going up for the sake of bringing light to this world, connections, revelations, secrets, help and assistance to this world. So this is already telling you a lot of secrets just by that. Another gift that it speaks about in this two portion is called Shnat Shmita, which is, we learned that every 6 years, again, it's only in Israel, it's not all over the world, but it's really because it's in Israel. We know Israel is the headquarters of the entire world. It's like if there is a pond, Israel is the middle point of the pond that influences equally to the entire world. That's how the Kabbalists describe the land of Israel, the physical location of Israel, okay? But we always speak about the consciousness of Israel. Now we know 6 years you work the land, and 1 year you need to land, rest, and grow wild, right? We call it sabbatical, right? So what is that idea? You're teaching me farming? You're teaching me how they do it in Israel? No. The secret is to achieve the level that when I'm not in action, more is revealed. So you're telling me that sometime doing nothing reveal way more light than me engaging and me working and me doing and me trying and me pushing. Sometime. Again. So in a way, there's need to work. And then at some point, sabbatical. It's, again, what do you mean sabbatical? Sabbatical can be for a moment. A moment, I'm not doing anything with the deal. Let the deal sit. Let the investment sit. You push, you study, you educate, and then sometimes you need to let it sit. And does it do what it need to be doing by itself on its own course. Same thing. Also, what do you mean Shnat Shemitah? We know that when you plant a tree, for the first 3 years, you don't touch the fruits, right? You don't eat from the fruits. Everybody know that. Now, when you open a business, when you have a relationship, we want kids right away. We want money right away. The business you produce, I invested money. I need the return right away. If you go to any investment bank and you say, I put with you $1 million, where's my money back? You say, wait a second. Well, 2-3 years. 2-3 years, and then you're going to start ripe the fruits, right? So to reap the fruits, to get results, sometimes people don't have even any moment. They want the result right away. Or even they study spirituality. A lot of people come to Kabbalah or even study here. They doing 2, 3, 4 moves, or they doing it for 2-3 years, let's say following the lectures, or even committed a little bit more, or even doing more study or more education. Like, okay, what did I get of this? And then right away they stop. Wait a second. Let it evolve. Let it grow. So again, this is another idea that most of us want results immediately without considering the process or allow things to evolve in its natural state as well. So that is another part of the big picture in this week's energy. But I want to go a little bit more. It says in the beginning, again, another separate point, but definitely important to connect it. So God spoke to Moses in Mount Sinai, and he tells him, Behar Sinai le'emor. I want to tell you, what does it mean when he says, this is what you need to hear, like he says to Moses. I want to remind you, Moses is your higher self. The light every day, Vaydaber Hashem, and the light speaks to us only to our higher self, which represented by Moses is a code. So therefore, every day you need to elevate yourself to your higher self as many as times as you can communicate with your higher consciousness. That's as many as time as the creator of this world, as the light, can channel for you more messages. That's in general every week. But what do we need to receive? He says every single day, a message comes to this world from Mount Sinai. What do you mean every single day? Mount Sinai was 3,500 years ago. What do you mean Mount Sinai? It's not even, nobody even go there anymore, right? Mount Sinai is a code, right? What is the code? We know that when the revelation of the Torah occurred, right, on Mount Sinai, it revealed on Mount Sinai because it was the smallest mountain amongst everybody else. So why would you reveal the highest light in such a tiny mountain? There were around him, there's many mighty mountains. Why not there? Why not on Mount Everest? Why not on Kilimanjaro? Why not? Big mountains, right? To indicate to us that Mount Sinai represents humility. Mount Sinai was humbled by his height amongst everybody. And that he was chosen to reveal the Torah on it. It's even more humbling. Amongst all of this greatness, I'm doing it, right? Very humbling experience. You know you're not in that level. You know you're not as big. You still was chosen to represent complete humility, right? That the mountain had. What does it mean? Mean to us. Every day you get a message, but I don't hear it. I didn't hear today. Why? Because you're climbing on the mountain. The mountain meaning that I need to go as low as you can go. Not being low, not being too low. What I mean low. Lower your ego. Lower the me. Then you can hear a higher level of a message. Lower you go, higher of a message comes that can communicate with you. That's high. How high? How low can you go? Then he says, if you live life humbled with humility, you're always going to be used as a channel for the light in many different ways. To that extent. And then he says, and then the Torah says to us, כי תבואו אל הארץ, אשר אני נותן לכם. Interesting verse. Right after he says, so now when you come to Israel, he speaks about the land of Israel. When you come to the land, haaretz, the land, he didn't say which haaretz, but we know. When you come to the land, right? What is he saying to him? Come to the land asher ani noten, that the land that I'm giving you. It's strange. Why is it strange? Because the way it should be written, it says not if you come or when you come to the land of Israel, I will give you, right? The וישבתם לבטח, and then I will give you that security, that I give you the whole land. I will allow you to sit on that land. Also, it can be written, I gave you, Natan. Natan is gave, Noten it's given, actual present, and will give, Yiten, it's in the future. Here it's written in the present. Now, this is the beautiful thing, because it's nothing to do with the land. It's nothing to do with giving and receiving. What does it mean? Key is when you decide, whenever you decide to come to the land. What does it mean to come to the land? To live your life in this world, in the consciousness of Ki. Ki represent Knesset Israel, which is another indication of each one of us need to insert himself in a community, in a connection. No isolating yourself anymore. No more alone. Again, many of us, you can look today, a lot of people want to be special, right? Any special, anyone who think themselves unique, which we are, but it's important. Look at all celebrities. They are slowly how unique they are. This is how isolated they are. Take huge billionaires, like people who are make a dent in this world. They are more and more alone, more specialty, more isolated, more unique, more separated I am, right? Now, obviously, if, even for myself, I don't have so much, if I wouldn't be meeting with people every day, I would be busy with this wisdom. Sometimes I won't see people, right? So obviously, it's in a way of we have to look at that in different eyes, because most of us want to be so special, but special mean you would have to surrender to so many other rules and so many other people in your life. You will have less, you will have to surrender or even sacrifice, time with this, time with that, spending time doing things that are, other people think that they have time to do it. What am I saying? First, in order to be connecting to that, what we call on this earth, and being a channel to the light, I need to be connected to a community. I need to be connected in unity to this world. I need to connected to love. I need to connected to how can I contribute more for the world. If you are unique, but your uniqueness makes you sacrifice everything, but it's that unique that makes you only unique, it's represent chaos and disconnect. But I'm so unique. Yeah, but you're isolated and you're not doing what you're doing for the sake of helping the world, right? So because you see, sometimes even somebody that is so unique, that's even, it's not a good example, but you see many like people who are famous, right? Sometimes they're famous for a product that they sold, and they use the money only for themselves, right? Nothing to do with helping the world, even more damaging to the world, right? So they are very wealthy, very this. Sometimes when you can't be associated with regular people, right? So you isolate, not because you isolate, because you can't, you're not associate with that level of people. But if I understand that I'm so unique, I'm so special, I want to use my specialty, I don't mind sacrifice. Listen, I'm doing this work, my family or a lot of my friends it's in Israel, right? But I live in New York and I live in the world, and now I'm going around the world and spreading this wisdom. Yes, so you sacrifice part of it, but I'm sure I don't look at it as a sacrifice. I'm looking at it as part of the mission of things that you cannot do right now because you're doing something very important to the world. That is not an isolating for the sake of making myself unique. Is activating my uniqueness for the sake, again, with that saying, there's some kind of sacrifices, there's some kind of adaptation, but for the sake of being able to help and see how you can promote the world to a better place. That unique, that doesn't disconnect you. There's a lot of specialty people, like even they can't have friends. Like even take athletes that are very much top of the line. Let's say, for example, I look at the NBA. If they don't have the team together, most of the time they don't have any association to other people. It's very, very much, it's very hard. You're an athlete, you are 24/7 working. You need to take care of it. Again, depend what athlete. You take any performance or anything, you always need to be, you don't have time to other people, right? But if you're doing it for the sake of being famous or making more money than others or being more just important, eventually that's a source of disconnect. And it doesn't allow the person feel any safety in this world, any safety. Veshavtem lavetach be'artechem, and you sit in absolute certainty on that land. Now, let's understand more about that land. When each one of us connecting to our uniqueness, to our specialty, to our gift, it says, that I give you meaning in present time. Every single time, every single second, I'm giving you. You're just not receiving it. You're just not activating it. But I'm giving you. Now understand a little bit more. When somebody gives you a gift, let's say somebody gave you nice shoes, or nice shirt, or nice watch. What is happening to you when somebody gives you a gift? I'm connected more to the gift, or as a result of receiving the gift, I'm connecting more to the giver of the gift. I hope most of us, we don't have much interaction here, but you understand. More somebody give me a gift, more I'm connected to the giver of the gift, not to the gift itself. So as a result of us activating our gifts, we need to see that it connects us and plugs us way stronger to the giver of the gift. Who gave you the gift of speech? Who gave you the gift of seeing? Who gave you if you don't see it as a gift, you will never connect to the giver of that gift. Oh, it's just something natural that everybody's doing. No. Why that person? Oh, yeah, because chemically they cannot blah, blah, blah. No. The giver of the gift, that's the goal. The noten, the one who gave us, not the gift itself. Oh, I'm so talented. I can sing nice. I can be an actor. I'm very smart in numbers and in business. I'm so very good in invention and all of that. What are you talking about? Every time I'm connected to the gift, it's for the sake of connecting to the giver of the gift. More you connected to the giver of the gift, that's what we're talking. Then, right, you're looking for where I can share my gift more. More you share your gift, more you connected to the giver of the gift. Giver of the gift, we know, is the master of this world, right? The energy that is created this world. Therefore, then there is a place on earth for you. Then Haaretz Artziut, the physical world, will be open for you, not controlling you. But this is every single day life. This is in life. What does it mean in life? To connect to the giver of the gift. So first of all, to really see our gifts, understand what are our gifts, where do I share them, right? How do I contribute to my community, to my group, to my friends? Our Monday night group is growing and growing and growing, but people need to think about to give back to it, right? It's like, how can I help? How can I bring more people? How can I show them, that wisdom? How can I assist them to connect and strongly? Based on your gift. Each one of us share his gift, not but for the sake of, I'm so special and I'm so unique. Wow, look at that. That's isolating you. That separates you from the group. Use your gift to share with the world, to spread the light in with the group that you connected to. And therefore, more you do that, more you connected to the giver of the gift, which is the source of where it comes from. And that gives you the right to enter the land. What does it mean? To be absolute feel security in this world. Feel secure to your place. How many of us going to work and feel insecure about our place at work? Or someone new start to work in the company and you kind of your place is shaken. Or another business open, the same business as yours, a competitor, you feel your land is shaken. Why? Because of this reason. So really, please look at that much deeper. Because then you have, as the Kabbalah says, and the Torah says, וישבתם על הארץ לבטח. You have absolute security in your seat, in your place. Because that's how you're using your gifts and you plug it in to the giver of the gift. That's beautiful and understanding, because any lack of certainty, any any insecurity that you have, any lack of certainty or doubts that you have, right? Or when you feel foreigner in a way of I don't feel good in my skin, I don't feel comfortable in my body. Why? Because of this reason. So please listen to the message again from the beginning until now, and then you continue again. Because please remember that the reason all of those things are happening is because I'm not connected to the gift. I think it's my gift. The gift meant to spread and to be connected or create community around or share with your community. As a result of that, it's not to make you unique. You can be much more unique in the group, but it's for the sake of helping and supporting the group, supporting the world. That connects you more to the giver of the gift, which is changing completely how you live your life. And as well, how you plug in to yourself, how you feel comfortable with yourself, how you feel certain with yourself, and so forth. So, the next idea is, it says to them, 6 years you're going to work, and the 7th years, you need to let the land go to vacation, right? Sabbatical. Most people will ask, wait a second. So 6 years I'm going to work. If I'm not going to plant or plow the land or work on the land in the 7 years, what I'm going to eat in the 8 years, right? Because when you plant in the 6, you're going to eat in the 7. When you plant in the 7, you're going to eat in the 8. But if I don't do that and I just do it in the 8, I'm only going to eat in the 9. I hope that math is clear for you, right? So meaning I'm skipping a year, it's meaning only in the 3rd year. This is a genius idea, right? So these are the rules. You work 6 days, you work 6 years, 7 let it free. And you're supposed to accept it. That God says, and people doing it, but they don't even know the consciousness. It's amazing, right? Anyway, what do we want to receive this week? It says that's what you do. And then right after it says, I want to read it for you. You know? What is it? So it says, וכי תאמרו מה נאכל בשנה השביעית, and if you're going to ask, listen to this, if you're going to ask, but what I'm going to eat in the 7th years or the 8th years, he says, וציוויתי את ברכתי, so I will give you the blessing that in the 6 years, you're going to have enough for 3 years. Okay? Now, tell me that he's very smart, right? So why bother all of that? Why challenge me if I'm going to ask the question or not? Why not just to tell me 6 years you're going to work? Don't worry. In the 6 years, you're going to have enough for 3 years, right? So, and that's why you don't have to work. You're going to start plowing in the 8th, plant in the 8th, and then you're going to have it to eat in the 9th, okay? Here it tells you. That's what you need to do. 6 years, 1 year free. That's it. That's the sentence. And then he says, but if you would ask what I'm going to eat, then I'm going to give you for 3 years. That's, you understand? I hope everybody listen again. What does it mean? If you're going to ask, why are you waiting for me? You know I'm going to ask this question, so why are you challenging me this way? What does it mean? First of all, most of us think that we have the luxury or the privilege that you can have a doubt or you can live life with uncertainty. Live life in this way, you know? Of course you can. Of course you can. But every time you engage in something, you're doing something, you're about to get married, or you're about to even start relationship, or you start a business, or it doesn't matter what it is. You're making an event, you're making a dinner plan for somebody, or whatever it is you're working. If you have a doubt about it, what happened? If you have a doubt, if you have a question, you know, in some place in the middle, if you have a doubt about something in your life, what happened? You need to restart again everything. What do you mean you need to restart? I'm not going to start all over again. Meaning the energy that is represented by a doubt, it means now you need to restart again and funnel that energy again. Even though physically you think nothing is happening, spiritually everything to need to rearrange again. Because what is doubt? Cutting, slicing, chopping the channel where you bring light to your life. So you have your privilege. I'm not sure there's a light. I'm not sure there's a creator. Okay, you still have the privilege of doing that or thinking this way. No problem. everything that you engage in your life won't continue, won't have continuation. Because you're going to receive results, but very little. Because maybe you're just receiving the fume or the drops of that, as big as you think it is. Let's say you're meant to change the entire world. But because of your doubts and although you're living life, I'm not sure, and maybe, I don't know. All of that time that you're spending this, chopping down all the channels, and you remain with one little air supply, and you feel good about yourself. At least I made $1 million. You're meant to make $1 billion. You're meant to change the entire world. You barely change your life. That's what people think. They satisfy with what they reveal and they think it's great. It's so small. And again, I'm talking about that now a lot. You look at the machine. It tells you, listen, you were supposed to be like me. And what do? You're so lazy. You're still working with your doubts. And that's what you reveal. A little bit. Okay, let me show you what you meant to be revealed. How tremendous of much amount you meant to be revealed. That's what it is. We're thinking like, oh, we reveal a little bit, in my life, I've done a few things. You have a marks, you even remember what good thing you've done in life. You remember. How can you remember? If you've done millions, you can't remember all of them, right? If you've done few, probably five times you share big time and you help people, maybe you remember that. Or you have a calculation, right? There's unique and absolute rules in the spiritual world, my friend. And that is where everybody's falling. Why? There are specific laws. Bechukotai, my laws. What is my laws? Not my laws, right? But it's the laws and regulation that exist in the spiritual world, my friend. No matter how great you are, no matter how elevated you are, no matter what type of material you use to elevate yourself, or substance that you use to, spirituality, there are laws, my dear. Spiritual world have a clear instructions, right? Nothing over there is for free, right? You're going to learn more rules. Again, let me explain more of that. Because in this physical world, there are clear rules. You want to drive you want to drive, you have a driving license, there are specific laws that you must obey. Why are you okay with that? Most of us are not okay with that. Taking public transportation, there are laws for that as well. How much you pay, if there's a room to sit or not, you're not guaranteed sitting, or times and waiting, right? There's specific rules to even public transportation. I don't want to drive my car. I don't want to obey the rules. Even if you sit in public transportation, there are rules. Why are we okay with all those rules in the physical world? Taxes, government, everybody who try to eventually manipulate the system, there's no escape of that, right? So we learn there are countless, many different spiritual laws that we don't even know, right? In this week, you find many different curses. What do you mean curses, right? We know there are no curses. It's the person that doesn't understand the laws in this world and in the spiritual world end up being in a reality that seemingly look like a curse, because they curse themselves. There is no God who cursed somebody. What is a curse? Right? It's almost like a loop that the person is stuck on, right? Over and over and over. Cannot get off this. What is a curse? Curse is living in fear, living in doubt, living in emptiness, as opposed to brachot, blessings, which mean living in continuous, endless continuation, right? Cause and effect. That's what exists in this world. What is cause and effect? Cause is the world of blessings. Effect is the world of curses. If I'm only affected by or influenced by effects, I'm becoming affected by everyone else. That's a curse, right? When a person lives life without consciousness, without rules and regulations on themselves, there's no way they will even elevate themselves to the spiritual laws that exist, not let alone, receiving more light in this world. He cannot reveal his potential. He cannot reveal his purpose in life. So let's understand that. I want to climb the mountain. I want to be in the mountain. What do you mean the mountain? I'm unique. I found my gift. I find my talent, and I want to do it. More you do it for the sake of you, more important or honor than all of that ego, you direct your energy, right, to what we call isolating or disconnect. You live life always never secure with your place, never guaranteed anything, never feel satisfied, always in lack, isolated. Now, there's another mountain that you go, but you go in humility, meaning that all my gift been given to me by the giver of the gift. All my gift that is in a way separating me from others, but for the sake of helping others, not for the sake of isolating or make myself better than others. That's a completely different way. And therefore, when I want to isolate, when I want to grow my uniqueness and share my gift more and more, you need to accept upon yourself many rules. Like a CEO of a company cannot behave in a certain way, especially if it's a public company. Everything, every move needs to be announced in the news, in the newspaper, needs to call people. Everything you do, every move you do, you need to allow many people know about it. That's the rule. Now, if you don't know that, many people live life, they think, oh, there's no rule. If you open your business, there are rules that you have to obey. Otherwise, they close your business. Many people think that they can do it and there's no rules, right? I can be my own boss. Why? I don't want to work for this company. Too many rules in the company. They go and open There are regulations and rules for your suppliers of their suppliers. I mean, those of us who don't know, oblivion about it, it's crazy that to think there are no rules and laws, so many. If a person don't respect the laws over here in this world, no big revelation come to that individual. No, even in business, if you don't agree to the business rules, right? Is any of you, let's say you give somebody an estimate for a job, right? An estimate, $10 million job, big, right? Did you ever saw that somebody will come and give you here $10 million for the job? So don't worry, I'll do it. Is that work? Is anybody doing the business this way? Somebody gave you already paid in full and then waiting until you do the job? No, what do you mean? It doesn't work this way. At least maybe advance or maybe half. Yeah, that's agreeing, right? But in majority of us, no, there are specific rules. If you don't follow those rules, let's say, for example, if I want to hire somebody, I need to give like different opportunity to others and see who's the best, right? So in a way, many of us think to be that without taking upon ourselves many rules. Even if you're working out on your body, physical workout, you're going to the gym, there are rules, my dear. What to start first, what to start second, what weight, what to eat, how to sleep, recovery time, there are rules. I didn't know that. I hurt myself many times going to the gym. I thought I'm doing so good and I damaged, right? So, as well in food, in everything, there are rules, my dear. So most of us, well, I hate rules. No problem. No much revelation. And whatever you reveal is way, way smaller than what's supposed to be. Even societies, different groups have rules, right? I see many people belong to different groups. They have rules, and everybody should obey the rules, right? For example, you go to play, you go to play a sport, right? If I play in the neighborhood basketball pickup game, right? There are rules, but like, okay, it's not like the NBA. And it's not like the rules and regulation that they need to do, right? You want to play in the higher league? Take upon yourself more rules, more regulations. That's what's happening right now with the AI, right? No rules, no regulation. You see how everybody freaking out. Of course they're going to freak out because it's going to be taking over. If you put regulation, right? If you put rules, it's not to separate yourself. It's not to make it harder for yourself. It's to protect you. Like the rules in driving in the street. All these rules meant to protect you. There are spiritual laws that I myself, Benjamin, I need to take upon myself. Why? Because I want to bring down to this world way more precious light. So if I'm not going to work on myself or take upon myself many different rules and regulation on my days, I won't be able to draw more secrets into this world. It's very clear, my dear. So 2 ideas here. First, honor and respect and live by specific laws and regulation. Depend what you want to achieve in life, right? Why? Most people will say that they live by the rules of morals and ethics. Morals and ethics are rules that came from human experience, like driving, like any of those things. Better for us to respect and to adapt spiritual laws. The spiritual laws not meant and made by man. It's revelations of the light of the giver of this world. Like I share with you now, the giver of your gift have rules. Once you obey those rules or listen to the rules and take upon yourself those laws, you receive more abilities of the giver to many more gifts or many more access to your gift. Second, again, as I said before, the first one, respect, honor, and take upon yourself spiritual laws. Spiritual laws, not just morals and ethics. If you want to ask more about it, you can ask me or discuss that or check. Second one is more a person grows, that's how the rules and the regulations that he needs to take upon himself to add every single day upon himself. For example, I'll give you an example that has been given. That's why in this portion there's probably 49 or so different curses. And each one of them is not a curse. It tells you these are rules and laws that when you behave this way, the giver also behaves this way like a mirror. For example, "V'halachtem imi keri, v'halech itchem keri." He says, if you walk, if you live your life, that's just a spiritual law, okay? If you live your life and you think or you still live your life with the notion of the words suddenly, coincident, random. Some people still live life like that, right? What do you mean, so? I mean, absolutely, it's the words of the other side, of the dark side. Why? Because the dark side tells you, wow, what a coincidence, what a mistake, what a random thing. Yeah, we are in the dark. Everything seems like, I don't know, I can't see. But when you live in the light, it's so clear. What do you mean random? I see that I plant a tree, it grows. What do I mean? All of a sudden, I have an oak tree in my backyard. All of a sudden, somebody have what do we call bankruptcy? All of a sudden death, all of a sudden he cheated, all of a sudden this and that. What do you mean all of a sudden? No, it's all been done. You just oblivion, you just don't see it. So again, when you live your life and somehow in the notion that everything is coincident or random and all of that, right away, your life will always be random. Nothing that you plan will come the way it should, or even maybe by chance. What do you mean by chance? It's all directed, it's all connected. So what I'm trying to say to you is, don't live life with those words, because it makes your life like that coincidental. So in a way, what do you mean coincidental? Let's say you're working hard, you build a business, and then the results will come randomly. Maybe next year, maybe 2 years, maybe whenever, right? No, you want to build something and see the results, right? And again, this is just one example. There are many, many other examples that many people don't even know, that when they don't take upon themselves the laws, the universal spiritual laws, they end up really in chaos, slow, and very much fragmented. What happened? They connect into their gift or what works for them, and they climb with that. I'm going to separate. I don't want those people. Slowly, the person think they are so special, and they isolate themselves. The only reason you're going to get isolated, quote unquote isolated, meaning separated from everybody, is when you do something that is so uniquely special to for the sake of helping the world, helping the group, and so forth. More rules you take upon yourself, more laws. Again, you cannot take laws upon yourself when you're not doing something that is greater than what you did yesterday, okay? It's in conjunction with both, right? I want to change the world. I want to help. I want to increase my capacity. I want to awaken way more consciousness to this world. But at the same time, I'm adding more rules, more security system on myself. Anyway, this is for today. There's probably 6-7 more different chapters I wanted to read for you. But again, this is what we're good for today. Make sure that you remember this week. This is the revelation of Kabbalah, was revealed 2,000 years ago in this world physically. It was before, but definitely that's when the Zohar appeared. That book that we all study from, we're all revealing secrets, and obviously eventually the technology that it speaks about will help us increase our consciousness, our ability, and we're not going to give over to a machine of sort. So thank you for joining us. Appreciate the time. See you soon.